Hey, what's up, Oh. Hey, what's up, Cineverm?
What up, Cinesticks?
Hey, what up, Cinesticks?
Pretzel sticks?
My name's Anthony Renteria. With me is the great conqueror,
Che.
What
up, guys?
This week we watched How to Train Your Dragon 3, the final part of the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy.
Yes.
If you've seen the movie, check our spoilers. If you haven't seen this movie, listen on, watch this movie, watch part 1 and part 2. We will try not to spoil anything from part 1 or part 2, but just beware we might spoil something from those just because it's part 3.
Yeah.
But just a heads up, you should watch these 3 movies anyways.
We have a warning. I talk about stuff.
Oh, and the spoilers?
Yep.
Yeah, we'll put
some sad stuff.
Trigger warning and a trigger warning in our spoiler discussion because
talk about death.
Yeah, I bring up a pretty dark subject because, that's what I do.
Anyways, I give this film a 9 out of 10. I mean a 10 out of 10. It's a masterpiece. It's God level.
Ooh.
I love this film.
Ooh. You starting straight off with the rating?
Yes, because this movie deserves that rating. I don't think I've given a 10 out of 10 ever on Cineverm.
I think you gave Roma a 10 out of 10.
Oh, I think this is the only second 10 out of 10 on Cineverm, and it deserves 10 out of 10 status. Toothless is an amazing partner. You've all seen him in the first 2 movies, and he continues to surprise me. Watch out for any new tricks, any new relationships. Obviously, it was in the trailer. Toothless meets possibly the love of his life. And yeah, I love this movie because it shows a lot of relationships and growth.
Oh, yes.
Similar to how the trend is in the first and second movie. The ending to this movie fits perfectly. I would actually recommend this to anyone. These movies are beautiful. Watch all 3 of them back to back to back. Maybe one more back to back, just so you can get the whole feel of them. And then watch this last one, and I guarantee you, if you have even half an inch of a soul, you will cry in this movie.
Wow.
Unless you're Anthony Renteria, because I don't think you cried.
No.
I cried. I'm just emotional.
I think I could force myself to cry. I have this weird thing where once I start tearing up a little bit, I stop myself from crying.
Why?
I don't know. But I've heard like a lot of writers and directors, they
stop themselves from crying?
No, that they cry a lot when they watch movies. Just because not writer, directors, actors.
Actors cry a lot?
Oh, yeah.
I cry a lot.
I was listening to this interview where actors were talking about how they're so used to getting to that point of crying that they can't, when they naturally want to cry, if they stop themselves from crying, it makes it harder to fake cry when they have to in a character. So when they watch a movie and it's sad, they have to just let it out, or they're going to start training themselves to stop crying on command. Like, legit cry, So when they watch sad movies, they bawl.
I know for me, when I try to stop myself from crying, my head ends up hurting. Because I don't release heat very well. Yeah. You know how when I exercise, my face turns red? Yeah. It's like that. All that heat is stored up in my head, and my head ends up hurting if I don't release it.
Wow.
Yeah. Crying is a very
exhausting thing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna have a brain heart attack. Brain attack.
Wow. Well, my turn to talk on this movie.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Hans.
I have a lot to say, but I'll try to get through it quickly. I'm getting hungry, it's late, I'm cold, there's kitties around me. Critic. But I love this freaking movie. Holy cow. I recently watched How to Train Your Dragon 2 for the first time, and I watched How to Train Your Dragon 1 at a very young age of my cinema life.
Mama.
Not young life, but young cinema life. I've recently was born as a cinema fan.
I have not been birthed.
I'm
a fetus.
I'm about 3 years old, cinema-wise, since I truly had my first awakening.
Oh,
but
that sounds so amazing.
Yeah.
Like a what is that called? Paradigm shift.
Paradigm, yes. It really does feel like that. Well, we can talk about this at a later time, about our cinema life, but...
Alright, go ahead, Hans.
Watching How to Train Your Dragon 2 for the first time, really, I did not realize how beautiful the cinematography was. And going straight into How to Train Your Dragon 3, I was so pumped and ready to go. I'm like, damn, I want this CGI action, you know? And this movie totally delivers in such a beautiful way. Every frame of this film is so gorgeous.
Yeah.
And it's shot in such a grounded way. All three films are, but this film has this sense of I don't know, we talk about it in the spoilers, but as soon as the movie started, I felt this really big sense of like finality, like this was the last time we're gonna be in this world. And every shot and scene gave off that emotion to me. Yeah. The editing is fantastic. There's many brilliant edits in this film that translate emotion. And I love when filmmakers use editing to tell a part of the story. The score is as great as the other two films as well. It has this awesome Viking and orchestra sensation to it that really makes it explosive during the action scenes and very emotional during the emotional scenes.
Yeah.
The performances of all the voice casts are awesome, as always.
Oh, yes.
They all have a very unique vocal personality that translates well to their sense of humor and their characters. And the story is the key component of this. Of all three of these films, it's so awesome having this third part complete the trilogy, because now I see the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy as one large narrative thread. And that is so beautiful to me, having this long-form story take place across three movies. And it's just so amazing how Dean DeBluce, the writer and director, managed to create a 3-arc story between 3 films and have them all narratively make sense and narratively execute on all the fields that he wants to execute on and tell the story he wants to tell without minimizing any of them, and them all still working independently, but having them, seeing them all together makes it just one large canvas. And it's super fascinating. I love the growth that Hiccup goes through. All the characters have their own moments. And then the whole dynamic of what the story is, which I don't want to spoil too much of it, but the idea of becoming an adult and, you know, having so much growth show in a kid's movie is so awesome.
Also, true love.
Yeah.
What true love is, the definition is challenged in this movie.
You know, everyone says, and it's kind of warranted, Pixar is like the gold standard of animation. But these guys that made the whole How to Train Your Dragon series, they're at Pixar level. This whole trilogy feels Pixar-esque in all the good ways. It's a very grounded, very heavy, but still kid-friendly film. It never feels like it's censoring emotion for kid jokes, and it never feels like it's censoring violence or consequence for entertainment. And it covers all the bases in such a wonderful way. This is a movie I would watch as a 50-year-old, and I would watch as a 10-year-old. And for both, the experiences would be unique, but be equal. I mean, there's other stuff that me and Chelsea talk about in the spoilers. It was like a 2-hour-long spoiler, so we're kind of burnt out. That's why our review is kind of quick. But I thought
the review was supposed to be quick.
Yeah. Just go watch this movie. It's a great family film. And it works on so many levels. If you like drama, if you like dragons, if you like cute stories, if you like I'm so lost now. If you liked any of the How to Train Dragons, if you like Pixar movies,
if you like DreamWorks movies,
yeah, if you just want to watch something fun, and that's just what I would love for more people who don't watch kid movies to watch this movie, because it works also as just a dope
Action.
action film or drama film. I would say if you watch How to Train Your Dragon 2, don't come into it expecting such a big spectacle, because How to Train Your Dragon 2 was like a big war film, and this one is way more personal and it's way more funneled through Hiccup. So have some reservations there. I'll go ahead and give my score. I gave this film a 9.5 out of 10. It is a phenomenal piece of art. I can't wait to watch it again. I can't wait to watch all 3 of these movies in a marathon, back to back, like Che was talking about.
Oh, yes.
And, fuck, I just wish more animated movies were shot in the way this one was shot, because it's so amazing the attention to detail that the visual artist took to make, even in the smallest ways, make this film feel so real. And it's one of the few kids movies and few movies period where I wish I could live in this world.
Oh, yes.
I wish I could just be in this world. And when the movie ended and I knew this is going to be the last How to Train Your Dragon film, I felt a little sad, because this world is so beautiful and the characters that populate it are so well drawn out, and there's so many funny parts in this movie too. I don't know, I'm kind of sad that there isn't going to be another one, but at the same time it's...
You know the what is that game, Roblox? How it's like an infinite world?
Yeah.
If there was an infinite world where it's this world in a video game, you can just walk around, and if it were to look like this film, I think that would be really cool.
Oof, yeah.
I would just walk around, touch random plants. Yeah. Find probably secret dragon stuff, treasure, different villages. I think that would be awesome.
That would be hella dope.
Or what's that video game with the vampire that you were talking about?
Oh, Oblivion. That would be so dope. You gave it a 10 out of 10. I gave it a 9.5. Is there anyone specifically you want to recommend it to? Kids, yes. Bring your kids. Bring your...
families.
Bring your cats.
I would say families.
Yeah.
Please email us at cineverm@yahoo.com. Let us know if you like any stuff from this movie, if you didn't like it, if you think of any ways we can improve Cineverm, let us know. We tried getting into our personal history in the spoilers.
Yes.
So probably you might not listen to the end, or maybe skip to the end if you want more personal stuff. But yeah, listen to the spoilers and have a good day.
Yeah, if you don't listen to our spoilers, you're missing out, because that's where all the magic happens.
Oh.
I don't know what that means, but...
Oh.
Yeah, have a great day.